You are 20 years old. You stand behind a blackjack table in a uniform that smells like cigarette smoke and carpet cleaner. Your hands move cards across green felt for 8 hours straight. You make $12 an hour. The man across from you just bet $5,000 on a single hand. He loses it in 4 seconds. He tips you nothing. You smile anyway. That smile is part of the job description. The casino industry employs roughly 750,000 people in the United States. Of those, approximately 85,000 are table game dealers. Starting pay runs from $10 to $14 an hour depending on the property. Tips are pooled across the shift and divided equally. On a good night at a busy table, your cut is $40 to $60. On a slow Tuesday, it's $11. You never know which night it will be until you are already standing there. You learn the mechanics fast. Blackjack pays 3 to 2. Dealer hits on soft 16. Insurance pays 2 to 1 and is almost always a bad bet for the player. You learn to move with speed and precision. Cards fan across the felt in one clean motion. Chips are sorted and stacked without looking down. Your hands develop muscle memory that your brain never has to think about again. The casino itself never stops. There are no clocks on the walls, no windows facing outside. The lighting is the same at 3 in the afternoon as it is at 3 in the morning. This is not an accident. Every detail of a casino floor is designed to keep people playing. The carpet patterns are busy and disorienting on purpose. The exits are hard to find by design. The free drinks arrive regularly. The nearest ATM is always close. You watch the money move. A player sits down with $500. 2 hours later, he has $800. He tips $20 and leaves. Another player sits down with $2,000. He is down to $300 in 40 minutes. He pulls out his phone, calls someone, gets more cash. This is the business you are in. The house edge on blackjack is 0.5% with perfect basic strategy. Most players do not use perfect basic strategy. The effective edge runs closer to 2% on a typical table. Across 8 hours at a full table, your table generates roughly $14,000 in gross gaming revenue. You made $96 that shift. The math is not subtle. By 6 months, you are fast. By 1 year, you are good. You start requesting the high limit room, better players, better tips. You begin to understand the business from the inside, not the math. You already know the math, the behavior, the patterns, the psychology of a room designed to separate people from their money as gently and pleasantly as possible. You watch the pit bosses. You watch the floor managers. You watch the general manager walk the floor in a suit that costs more than your monthly rent. You decide something. They promote you to pit boss. New badge, new position, same floor. You are now on the other side of the table. Elevated platform, arms behind your back, watching everything at once. Your job is no longer to deal cards. Your job is to protect the house. Pit boss pay averages $50,000 to $65,000 annually at most regional casinos. In Las Vegas, at a major strip property, the top end reaches $90,000. You manage 4 to 8 tables simultaneously. You approve player ratings, the system that tracks every rated player's average bet, time at the table, and theoretical loss. This data feeds the comp system. The right players get free rooms, free meals, free show tickets. The calculation is simple. If a player's theoretical loss over a weekend is $12,000, spending $3,000 on comps is a profitable investment. You learn to think this way. You learn to read a player in 30 seconds. The tells of someone card counting, slight pauses before large bets, a bet spread that correlates with the running count become obvious. You've been trained. The casino has been training employees to spot this for 40 years. When you identify a suspected counter, you approach calmly. You change the shoe. You increase the deck penetration. If the behavior continues, you invite them to play another game. You do not make a scene. Scenes are bad for business. You study the floor metrics obsessively. Drop is the total amount of cash and chips purchased at each table. Hold is the percentage the house keeps of the drop. A blackjack table should hold between 15 and 22%. If a table is running at 11% hold over a 90-day period, something is wrong. Equipment malfunction, dealer error. Advantage play, you find the problem, you fix it. This is your job. Then you get promoted to floor manager. The whole casino is now your responsibility during your shift. 300 employees, 2,000 players, $12 million in chips in circulation on a Saturday night. You manage it all from a glass office overlooking the floor while reviewing the real-time dashboard on 3 monitors simultaneously. The casino never stops. Neither do you. You study P&L for the first time. Revenue, comps expense, labor costs, gaming taxes, marketing spend, EBITDA. The language of ownership. You realize that a casino making $200 million in revenue might net $40 million in profit. You also realize that a casino making $200 million in revenue is worth 8 to 10 times that in enterprise value. You do the math. You start thinking about how to get from where you are to where you want to be. A regional tribal casino 2 states over is searching for a general manager. A headhunter calls. Your name came up. The property is underperforming. 18% hold when it should be 22. Labor costs at 38% of revenue when industry benchmark is 32. You know exactly what is wrong. You know exactly how to fix it. You take the job. You arrive at the property with 1 suitcase and a 90-day plan. The casino is decent, but not optimized. The floor layout is 15 years old. The slot machine mix is wrong. Too many low-denomination machines. Not enough video poker. The high-limit room is in the wrong location. You redraw the floor on graph paper your first weekend. 23 changes. You implement them in phases over 4 months. Month 3, hold percentage climbs from 18 to 20.1. Month 6, 22.4. Revenue is up 11% year over year without adding a single new machine. The tribal council reviews the numbers. One elder who has been skeptical of you since day 1 nods slowly in the meeting. That nod means more than any compliment. You learn the full business, not just the gaming floor. The hotel attached to the casino runs at 63% occupancy. Industry average for comparable properties is 78. You redesign the comp system to drive hotel bookings from the player database. Within a year, occupancy is at 74. The rooms were always there. Nobody was using the data properly. The food and beverage operation loses money. Every casino food and beverage operation loses money. This is expected and intentional. A player who is eating in the building is a player who is not leaving the building. The question is not whether the restaurants profit. The question is whether the revenue they anchor in the casino exceeds the subsidy they require. You model this. The answer is yes by a factor of 4. You recruit a new slot director from a larger property in Phoenix. He rebuilds the machine mix from scratch. New titles, better placements, progressive jackpot networks, slot revenue up 19% in year 2. You recruit a marketing director who understands database-driven player reinvestment. Direct mail campaigns replace expensive broadcast advertising. Cost per acquired player drops 40%. Year 3, the property is the top-performing tribal casino in the region. Gaming industry trade press runs a profile. You give the interview. You credit your team. You say nothing about what you are planning next. What you are planning is this. A new gaming license just became available in a neighboring state. Commercial casino, not tribal. The first competitive license in that market in 12 years. The application window opens in 4 months. You have been studying the market for 8 months. You already know the site. You already know the financing structure. You already know the operator team. You file the application on the first day of the window. The license is awarded. You are now a casino owner, not a manager, not an operator working for someone else's property, an owner. The difference is everything. Construction takes 22 months. You visit the site every 2 weeks without exception. You know the name of every subcontractor foreman. You review every change order personally. The final construction cost is $47 million, $2 million under budget. You open on a Saturday in October. First night drop $847,000. Hold 21.3%. Gross gaming revenue night 1, $180,000. You read the number at 4 in the morning in your empty office. You read it again. The first year is harder than you expected, not the casino operations. Those you understand completely. The ownership is harder. Payroll is every 2 weeks. 340 employees. Fixed costs do not flex when a blizzard keeps players home for a weekend. You have floor plan financing on the construction debt. The interest clock does not stop. You build a 12-week cash flow model and review it every Sunday morning. You sleep with the model in your head. Year 1 revenue, $31 million. EBITDA, $8.2 million. Debt service, $4.6 million. Free cash flow, $3.6 million. Not glamorous. Not what the projections said. Exactly what the stress case said. You planned for it. You are fine. Year 2, you make 1 acquisition. A competitor casino 40 miles away that has been struggling since its founding operator retired and his heirs ran it poorly for 3 years. You pay $28 million for a property that that should be worth 45. You spend $6 million on renovations. Within 14 months, it is generating EBITDA of $7 million annually. You now have 2 properties and $15 million in combined EBITDA. Year 3, you acquire the gaming license for a third market. This one is larger, a mid-sized metro area with no direct casino competition within 60 miles. You raise $60 million in construction financing. You open the third property 18 months later. It outperforms the first 2 in year 1. The formula is real and it is repeatable. You have proved it 3 times now. The private equity calls start. Everyone wants to invest. Everyone wants a piece. You take every meeting. You hear every pitch. You accept none of them. You are building something. You do not want a partner who will want to sell in 5 years on a schedule that is not yours. Las Vegas is the test that every serious casino operator eventually faces. Either you build here or you don't. Either you can compete on the Strip or you are a regional operator forever. You have been studying the market for 4 years. You know the site. You know the financing. You know the competitive positioning. You go 12 acres of strip-adjacent land, $340 million for the parcel. You raise $1.2 billion in total project financing, $400 million in equity from your retained earnings and a new class of preferred investors, $800 million in construction debt. This is the largest financial commitment of your life. The lenders do their diligence for 6 months. They approve. They have seen your track record. 6 properties, 6 profitable outcomes. The model works. Construction takes 28 months, 1,200 hotel rooms, 120,000 square feet of gaming floor, a convention center, 4 celebrity restaurant partnerships, a nightclub, a spa. You are not building a casino. You are building a reason for people to fly to Las Vegas specifically to visit your property instead of the one next door. Opening weekend, $6.8 million in gross gaming revenue across 72 hours. You are standing in your office on the 43rd floor looking at the Strip below you at 2 in the morning. You started on the other side of a blackjack table in a uniform. The view from here is different. Year 1 Las Vegas, $310 million in revenue. EBITDA $78 million. The property is performing at projections. Financial press covers the opening. Wall Street analysts who cover gaming, REITs, and public casino companies write about your group for the first time. You read none of the coverage about yourself. 7 properties now. Combined group revenue $490 million. Combined EBITDA $258 million. At industry transaction multiples 8 to 10 times EBITDA for a well-positioned multi-property operator with a Las Vegas asset. Your company is worth between $2 and $2.6 billion. This is not a number you talk about. It is a number you use to plan the next move. The next move is Property 8, a destination resort in a new domestic market that has been off the radar of the major operators. You have been watching it for 3 years. The competitive dynamics are favorable. The demographics are right. The regulatory environment is improving. You break ground. The machine keeps running. You are 51 years old. It is 4 in the morning in Las Vegas. The city below your window is still lit. It never goes dark. You have been in this business for 31 years. You started dealing cards at 20. You are now looking at a term sheet on your desk. $5.1 billion. The acquirer is a publicly traded casino conglomerate. They have been watching you for 6 years. They know every property, every EBITDA number, every license, every key person. Their due diligence team is thorough because they can afford to be. This is the largest acquisition in their company's history. They want to do it right. You counter at $5.4 billion. They come back at $5.15. You ask for an earnout provision, an additional $200 million over 3 years if the acquired properties meet agreed EBITDA performance targets. They accept. Total deal value up to $5.35 billion. Signing happens on a Tuesday in March. The wire arrives in 2 tranches. First tranche, $3.1 billion before taxes and transaction costs. You look at the confirmation on your phone. You put it face down on the conference table. You sit in silence for 90 seconds. Your lawyer is in the room. Your CFO is in the room. Nobody says anything. After taxes, federal capital gains, state taxes across multiple jurisdictions, transaction costs, employee equity payouts to the leadership team that built this with you. Your net proceeds are approximately $1.9 billion liquid, plus the earnout, plus retained equity in the acquiring company. You call your mother, she picks up on the second ring. You tell her the number. She is quiet for a moment. Then she says, "Do you remember your first paycheck?" You do. $89 for a night shift behind a blackjack table. You do not buy a yacht. You open a new development LLC. You start looking looking at the next opportunity. There is a resort casino site in a Southeast Asian market that has been on your list for 2 years. The gaming regulatory framework just passed. The competitive window is open for approximately 18 months before the majors move in. You know how to build in this window. You have done it before. The kid who dealt cards for $12 an hour is 51 years old and worth more money than he can meaningfully spend. He still wakes up at 4 in the morning, not because he has to, because there is always a next deal and the window is always shorter than it looks. He closes his laptop, he picks up his phone, he opens the development file for Southeast Asia, he starts reading, same as always.